This first video on Schoology is going to talk about how to get to the site, how to log in, and then what you see when you first get there. So there are two ways that you can currently get access to Schoology. So the first way is to log into BCPS1 and then scroll down to the bottom and click on Schoology Field Test. And that will bring you to another sort of web page where you have to log in with your BCPS credentials. Or you can type in the web address bcps.schoology.com and it will take you to the same place, and you just log in using your BCPS information. So when you first get here, you will notice that you're on your home page. And so what you see on your home page are a couple of different things. Across the top, you'll notice your top menu bar, which is in blue, and then down the left side, you'll see a side menu bar. So I'll talk a little bit about what those various things are in a minute. And then here in the center, this is kind of like Facebook. So you'll see all kinds of recent updates and activities for different groups and things. If you're a part of, the schools group or a curriculum group, you'll see comments and questions and things that other people have posted there. Over here on the right-hand side, if you have an assignment, you'll notice if you have things that are overdue, and then if you have things that are upcoming on your calendar. So these could be assignments that you have to complete, or assignments that you are going to be assigning to your students. Also, you'll see event dates for any kinds of calendars that you might have set up with your Schoology account. So mine is already set up for the Eastern Tech calendar, so I see that this weekend we have Relay for Life. And then you'll also see an option to locate public groups. We're not going to talk about groups in this video, we'll do that at another time, but that is another option that's there. So I'm going to start with the blue top menu bar and just sort of go left to right with what each of the items does. So this first part here is just this Schoology logo, and if you select that from wherever you are in Schoology, it's always going to bring you back to this main home page. So if you get lost or you're having some difficulties with something and you need to just get back out from everything, just click on that and it'll take you back to the home page. The second item, of course, is the little spyglass, and that is your keyword search. So you can search for people, you can search for groups, you can search for all kinds of things. It's pretty easy to do. Just a little box opens, you type in whatever you want to search for, and then it will pull up all the possibilities. The next item is the home button, and so if you just click home, it again will take you to the home page, and you'll always see the blue button up at the top all the time, no matter where you are in Schoology. The next item is the course button. So you have a drop-down menu and it lists all of the courses that you are either currently enrolled in or that you are overseeing. So right now I have a bunch in here that are training ones, and then also some different sample ones that I created for field testing, and then also the ones that I have that I'm currently teaching. So they're all listed in there. And you can create courses, join courses that are existing, and things like that. The next tab is the groups. So these are all of the different organizations that you could belong to. So it could be curriculum groups, it might be a school-based group. So for instance, ours is Eastern Tech Teachers, and you can join other groups as long as you have the access code. At this time, you'll notice the message here from Mr. Machaki that says that we can't currently teachers can't currently create groups, but other individuals can create those for you if you want to have somebody create like a group for a club or an organization. So that's still something that's ongoing and being updated, so that just look for some changes for that. The last item here is the drop-down menu for resources, and you have your own personal resources that you can access from the different groups you belong to, and then resources from different apps. I'm not going to get into those today because we're going to, there'll be a different video that talks about resources. Then over here we have the little envelope, and this is where your messages are located, so you can see any messages that you have, or if you have a new message, you can see all of them, and it'll bring up your message page. You can go to inbox and see what's in there. You can see messages that you've sent to other people. So I'm going to go back home. The next item here, the little silhouettes, that's for like connection requests. So it's kind of almost like if you think about Facebook's friend request, this is kind of the same thing. So people can choose to connect with others both within the school building and then also from other schools as well. This little item here, which is sort of like almost looks like a triangle with a halo, that lets you know what your notifications are. So if you have any new notifications, usually you'll see like a little red circle there with a number in it to let you know that you have some new notifications. And then next you have your name, and your name is just your access to your profile. So if you click on your name, it will bring up sort of like your main page, and you can post updates and information and things like that. And then the little drop down on the side will take you to account settings, notifications, your recycle bin, and then that's also where you are able to log out. And then our last item here is the little question mark, and that's the support button. And the support button will take you to the support resources for Schoology. So if you click on it, it will pull up some information in BCPS 1 about what you can do to get some support with Schoology. Okay, so I'm going to go back home, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what's down here on the left-hand side. So down here on the left-hand side are things that are sort of unique to this particular page. So from the home page, you can see all your recent activity, which is again things that people have posted. For grades, you can go in and you are able to see courses, currently grades for courses that you are enrolled in, if you are enrolled in any grades. Now we'll talk about grades at another time in terms of entering them, but that's another step. This is just what we're seeing when we're in the home page, not in a specific course. So the next item is the calendar, and depending on the groups and organizations that you belong to, you might have a whole bunch of different calendars. So I have 22 different calendars. How that happened, I'm not entirely sure. But I can go in, see all the calendars that are there, and I can place a check next to the ones that I want to show up on my personal calendar. And so if I can just check a whole bunch. And then I can change the color of the information that's associated with that particular organization, so I can tell sort of what events go with what. So once you do that, then you'll notice certain things will show up on your calendar. So I checked off Eastern Tech teachers, and so that added certain things to my calendar like SAT Day, Pre-AP administration, Relay for Life, and those different kinds of things. So I can go back into those calendars and I can uncheck if I don't want all of those different things to show up on my personal calendar. Also here on the side you have messages, and so this is another way for you to get to your mailbox. You can see your inbox, you can send a new message to someone, you can see the messages that you have sent. Next is people, and people basically shows all of the people that are in your school. See, there's the list here, alphabetical. And then over here on the side you can add a connection, which is kind of like a friend request, and that's what is up here in the silhouettes. You can sort of request friends, and then you can also send them private messages. Now, sort of a fun feature is that you can change this to a different school. So if I'm just going to open the first one on the list, and it will bring up all of the different people at that particular school. So I can switch around and see the school directory. And then in here, your connections are the people that you have friend requested, if you choose to do that. Subscriptions is almost kind of like a, I guess where you can connect to different kinds of things. So currently I'm subscribed, and I think everybody is by default, to the Schoology blog, and so this is just a whole bunch of other things that will show up. Not 100% sure yet about the features of this because it's still kind of new, but it's something that I'll talk about in another video. Assessment reports, which are currently blank. I'm not 100% sure what these are, but I'll probably talk about them in more detail in another video. So we'll just skip that piece for right now and go back home. And then there are a couple of other things here on the side. School analytics, advisees, and app center. I'm not really going to get into those right now because they're like separate sections that we can talk about in other videos. But so this is basically what you see when you get started. As soon as you log in, you'll come here first, and then you'll navigate from here to the other parts of Schoology to do the different things that you need to do. So the big takeaways and the big important things for this one are that you have your top blue menu bar, which lets you get to a bunch of things, and then you have this left side menu bar, which also allows you to get to different things from this particular homepage.